Welcome back to the AB Scale Project. I'm Krager. This is Alpha Bravo. And today we're looking at the Studio Series 86 Grimlock and Wheelie. Just as a reminder from before, our winners were Fans Project for the Dinobots and Titans Return for Wheelie. Alright, first up, we'll start off with Wheelie. Take them off of here. Okay, you see they did a pretty decent job with the sculpt. Very lacking in articulation with all these fixed joints. I mean, he doesn't really stand on his own. Anyway, for the Wheelie episode, we'd use G1 Sea Spray as our height comparison. You see it's pretty dead on considering he doesn't stand up straight. Now comparing him to the Titans Return. One, we see the Titans Return has more posability. And it's still transformed. So, for me, the TR still wins for the best Wheelie. I have seen a very popular mod where they are head swapping these two, and I might do that eventually. But for now, let's face it, this is more of an accessory and not really meant to be just a standalone figure. So, the TR is still the winner. For Grimlock, again, we didn't consider the SS86 in the Dinobots episode because it doesn't have a full set of the big five. So far, we only know of Slug coming down the pipe. We don't know all the SS86 that we're getting, but I'm putting low odds on seeing an SS86 Snarl because he was only a headshot in one frame of the movie. So from the jump, he's behind the ball because he doesn't have a full set. If you got the oversized knockoff power of the Primes, you could swap out the Grimlock and have a set that way, but there's still more aesthetic differences since the SS86 isn't as greebly. But anyway, the new SS86 is a pretty cool toy. He's got all the articulation, and if he can keep his chest snapped in, that you'd expect with the modern lines. So we'll got your tilted down here, everything you could need. He comes with his gun and Wheelie. Overall, a pretty nice toy. Comparing him with Severo, we can see with the head sculpt that Grimlock is definitely a G1 head sculpt, while Severo is more IDW. He's still a stylized take of IDW, but he's still closer to an IDW aesthetic. Looking at the height, they're pretty close. The limbs are actually the same length. It's just the Fans Project torso is a little shorter than the SS86. The Dino mode is everything you could want for G1. Most common complaint I've heard is that he's missing his front teeth. That doesn't bother me too much. His gun stores using this peg onto these holes over here. Honestly, that bothers me more than the missing the teeth because, they could have given us a 5mm port here, had kind of a gun turret action going and had, Wheelie manning the gun turret. That would have made the Shark to Com battle a little bit different. But anyway, he looks good. All right, putting him up next to the Fans Project. Again, the Fans Project is a more stylized take, and I believe it's closer to an IDW. And also like that, you can have more articulation with the hands with the Fans Project. You have some articulation with the hands with the SS86, but not a lot of inward motion. Big head, little tiny arms. We have plan had been well thought out. Anyway, The inside of his mouth, I just forgot to mention that the inside of his mouth does have a mount point for blast effects, so you can have his flame throwing action. So overall, a pretty good G1 representation. So overall, the SS86 Grimlock is a great toy, but we don't have a full set, so it still loses to the fans project. The SS86 Wheelie is an accessory and not a figure, so it's no competition to the TR. If not having a matching set doesn't bother you, then I recommend the SS86 Grimlock. The Wheelie, not so much. Anyway, thanks for joining us today on the AB Scale Project. If there's a character you'd like to see, put your request in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.